Because I'll say this. I'll say, and this is one thing that a woman should bring to the table, I believe. I like how you believe in me. Because like when I talked about moving forward, a lot of my moving forward was with limited belief. Like I was like, you was like, oh no, this, and this is how much this should cost, and this. And I'm thinking like, no, like that's crazy. And then when I started meeting with people who were telling me different things, they were saying the same things you were saying. Yeah. And I was like, she was saying that the whole time. So I like the fact that like you, it's like you can see me, you see how I move, and you can see value. So kind of going back to what the video I said the other day, like one thing a woman can bring to the table is alignment.
So your latest video, you had mentioned about what women bring to the table.
Yep.
And you know, that's pretty, it already is a touchy subject.
Very
because
true.
Some women feel like, how dare he ask what I bring to the table? And then other women are like, you know, I really don't know a lot who feel that that's an appropriate question.
Yeah.
But I guess if I had to give you my take on it, I think I'm okay with the question being asked. Like, had you asked that on the first date, I would have been a little like.
What would you have said? Because I don't think most women.
I would have said, we had actually had a conversation similar to that.
And what was
and
it?
You didn't like anything I said.
I didn't?
No, because we've talked about this, I think, in like first or second video, but you had said, I don't care if she flips burgers, because
very true.
I wanted you to know that I was, you know, a hard worker. I was successful. You know, I have degrees. And you just didn't care about that. And not only that, I mean, I did tell you about how I believe in being a submissive partner, and the man should lead, all that kind of stuff. But
so let me ask you: if a woman is asked that question, how should she answer it? Or first off, should she even be asked that? Because I have an idea on, like, because a lot of men, and this is what I see online. A lot of men will ask that question, but to be honest, a lot of the guys that are asking it, there's no answer. Like anything she says, a guy's gonna find fault in it, because either
I was actually gonna say that
because if she comes and says, okay, you know what, this, you know, I make this kind of money, I do X, Y, Z, I do this, then a man is gonna say, oh, well, you're trying to be like a man, you're trying to be just like me, and then she said, okay, well, I'm gonna take care of the house, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that.
Well, high value men will feel that way, because I'll be honest with you. People I have dated in the past, and I would certainly say those men are still out there. It matters how much you make.
Well, yeah. Well,
they you know, want a high earning. I think you have to be in a whole different league to say, I don't care if you flip burgers, or if you when a woman makes $100,000+ a year, and you say, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I think we talked about this in the past. I was like, kind of hurt. I was like, man, all these accolades, I felt like really accomplished. I would think that would attract.
But the reason it doesn't for me is because I'm not looking for that. I'm not necessarily looking for that. I'm looking for other traits. I'm looking for more of like the masculine, feminine dynamic. And I ain't talking about feminine as far as like, oh, cleaning, cooking. I'm talking about feminine energy. Like a woman that doesn't have that feminine energy, I won't say mastered, but controlled and moving, trying to perfect that. I don't think she's really offering value to a man. Just like I don't think a man is offering value.
I had feminine energy, even though I worked.
Oh, you did? Very feminine.
Currently still 2 jobs.
Very feminine.
But I will say this, when I'm around you, I become softer. The minute you leave and go back to Texas, or I leave Texas, I do suit up and put a different kind of armor on.
I agree.
And I think it's hard to have somebody understand that if they haven't had to be in survival mode before or in the past. And
so what do you bring to the table?
I got my...
Or what should, either you or what should a woman bring to the table? However you want to answer that.
I would say my spirituality. I don't think anybody even talks about that.
Elaborate.
But the power of a woman who truly supports, believes in their partner, prays for their partner, Like, it don't matter what you do. I'm going to say we'll be okay. We're going to get through it.
Yeah,
where you might be on that side where you might be easy to anger, be like shit, you know, get mad, where I'm going to go right into like deep.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. I got this because I got us with God.
I think a lot of both men and women, I don't think a lot of people value that, because I don't think a lot of people understand it.
I don't think anybody even asked that. I've never been asked that.
I don't think they understand it. Like, a lot of people, like a lot of men that ask that question, they don't really understand. And to be honest, a man shouldn't even ask that question, because when a woman is coming, like
they should just know it.
Well, they should know what they need. And instead of saying, hey, what do you bring to the table? A man should just demonstrate his life. Like, let me show you what I do for a living. Let me show you what I do. And then a woman can say, okay, how can I help you in these areas? Or let me help you in these areas. Because it's not what I bring to the table. Because if I just start listing stuff, it might not be what you need.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a man shouldn't be like, what do you bring to the table? He should be like, this is who I am. This is the direction I'm going. Do you fit in my life? Like, are you trying to insert yourself in my life? Like, that's how I think a man should look at that.
So that whole question should be just thrown out the window.
Should be thrown out the window.
Yeah.
A man should
I kind of agree, because at the end of the day, if you have to ask a female, then why would you even be with her if you didn't see qualities and traits and certain behavior in her from the jump? If you have to ask her, then I think that's weird. In my opinion.
It's kind of, because it's just saying, I mean, a man should just move in a certain energy, and if a woman is inserting herself in that, then she's saying, hey, you know what, this is what I bring. Like, oh, I see you doing this. Like, you always saying, hey, can I help you with this? Can I do da. It's like you always, I'm talking about earlier, you always inserted yourself into my life. Like, that's what a woman brings to the table. Yeah.
In the beginning, I tried. It's okay. I mean, that's our journey, right? That's our story. Like, we struggled with finding that balance, because I was such a...
And
we lived two different lives
very
right
true.
now.
But at the same time, I was still coming to a lot of my purpose too. So I was really, like, a lot of, we were both really trying to still figure a lot of things out, to be honest.
Well, I think you had said this to me. It's clear we have two different mentalities when we come to reaching our end goal, our logic, how we think.
Of course.
And I was very much, I'm going to be totally honest and transparent. I didn't give a damn how we got there. I just knew I wanted to do it with you. Like, you could have said, hey, we're driving up the coast and we're never coming back. And I'd been like, okay, let's do it. Instead of questioning, like, I'm really about to give it all up. So my mentality has grown a lot in a sense of, like, understanding I can't just be lackadaisy about everything and say, we'll figure it out. It'll work out. Like, I got
But you know what? I'll say this, though. At first it irritated me. But as I thought, but it was wrong on my part, because my thing is, I was like, why doesn't she view the world like I view it? Like, what, like, you know? But at the same time, that's not the ideal situation. Like, you shouldn't see the world as I see it.
We should be polar opposites.
And I shouldn't see it as you see it. Yeah. But the thing is, we have to understand that we don't see each other. Like, so when I'm saying, hey, you don't think about this, and this, it's like, you need to understand that when I'm talking like that, you should say, okay, that's why. And when you talk from a, like, hey, you know what? Because I'll say, and this is one thing that a woman should bring to the table, I believe. I like how you believe in me. Because, like, when I talked about moving forward, a lot of my moving forward was with limited belief. Like, I was like, you was like, oh, no, this, and this is how much this should cost, and this. And I'm thinking, like, no, like, that's crazy. And then when I started meeting with people who were telling me different things, they were saying those same things you were saying. Yeah. And I was like, she was saying that the whole time. So I like the fact that like you, it's like you can see me, you see how I move, and you can see value. So kind of going back to what a video I said the other day, like, one thing a woman can bring to the table is alignment. Like, if I say, like, if a woman comes in a man's life and she said, okay, I'm going to attach to you and your mission. Like, I'm aligned with that mission. So when I'm moving, you're just not over here just trying to look cute and go and do this. You're looking at me saying, okay, I need to make sure you always see the value in yourself. Yeah. Like, that's an asset. Because when I'm thinking low, you can say, no, that's not who you are. You're this. This is the mission. So it's a reflection and a reminder. So, and a lot of women don't understand that, but a lot of men don't see the value in that too.
Yeah.
because they aren't getting in relationships where a woman is looking at a man like that. Like I see the value in you. Let me make sure. Not only that, but like when I said in the video the other day, I said a woman is creating the aura around a relationship. Like,
but that comes from my spiritual power.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah. So going back to being an asset to a man. When a man is like, okay, I want to own this business and do this certain thing, but right now we're living in Section 8. I'm trying to get better. You're the one who can create that environment in the worst of situations. Where if I'm saying I want to be a king, you're creating an environment where when we're together or we're in a house, I feel like a king.
Yeah.
Regardless of we eating spaghetti.
Doesn't matter what's happening outside that door.
And
that's going to be an amazing.
And you creating that.
Comfort.
Me coming home from a job that's paying minimum wage. When I walk in my house and you create that energy, like, no, this is who we are, then I can create from that energy. You know what I'm saying? So I can battle the world and come back and say, you know what? No, you're making me feel like this.
Yeah. Like
just because the rent is late or the lights are off, you aren't treating me any different. You're still creating an environment because you understand it's and that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Well,
this might be on the wrong where we kind of didn't see eye to eye on it. We're not going to let the lights go out, though.
I'm just saying.
Like, there's women out here that would sit at home and be like, he ain't paying the bills or he's behind. But I think we're just two educated people, and that's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just talking about, and that's a bad scenario, but I'm saying even when things are good, I say life is good, money is overflowing, but you're trying to go to another level. Like you're still creating that environment. So it ain't about being destitute, but just to be able to create an environment. Because
and I think that's when we were talking where we had our first disagreement. I can honestly say I think we had our first disagreement or argument or whatever about just executing or moving forward. And I was being very relaxed about it. Like, I got this. Like, because I didn't tell you I was worrying, you never did. And I can honestly say, because I'm such a go-getter, even if I didn't have a plan right at that second, there would be no doubt in my mind that I wasn't covered and it wasn't going to happen and I wouldn't have made it happen. But that wasn't, I wasn't executing that. It wasn't coming out that way. And when I was trying to be like, I lived around the world, I got this. Like, I had to start over every, my, like, worst case scenario, my license transfers anywhere around in the world. But so I think the spiritual aspect of a woman and just truly believing in her partner.
But that means that if we're going to say that the spiritual side of a woman is her asset, she must know that spiritual side of herself.
Yeah.
So it's like just because she's female, she has divine femininity, but if she doesn't understand it.
I don't think people know how to get in tune with that.
If she doesn't understand it. But at the same time, if she doesn't, a man should be in a position where he can teach her. Like, I think in a relationship, people should be able to learn from each other too. Like you should be able to learn from me. I should be able to learn things from you. You know what I'm saying?
True. You think a man is able to teach her about?
He should be able to.
The power of within?
He should be able to.
I'm telling you, mine is so strong. I know things before they even happen. And you're like, how'd you know that? Like in the past.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I already knew this was coming. Like, and you were like,
well, I'm not saying a man can teach a woman how to be a woman.
Yeah.
But as far as like if she needs help with,
but it starts in the gut.
Herself.
Everything, your brain, your mind is through the gut, and I think intuition, all of that is on the spiritual side. So I don't know. That makes me think about the question. I saw a podcast, and a guy said, after he got married, he feared finding somebody better. Do you have that fear?
When you say finding somebody better, you mean
the fact that you just said
no. I'm just saying. I want to be clear. Like, do you mean like finding somebody better? Because how can you mean somebody like that's taller?
Well, this is just a man. Like what if somebody better comes along?
Well, the thing is this.
I don't know what his better is. He didn't elaborate on that.
So a man could. I could look at it and say a man is saying if somebody comes better, like, okay, this person.
A baddie, we'll just say.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because really, we don't know what's going on inside the home. We don't know who can cook better.
And to be honest, like, to find out somebody is better means you're already violating. But anyway, besides that, I think you'll always find somebody that has different attributes than the person you with. Like, that's a hard thing to even compete with. Like, for me to compete or you to compete with every other man on the planet or woman on the planet, it's like it's not even a thing. So I think a person has to understand that, like, let's say after me and you are together for so long, it's gonna be stuff that you do that we both have our certain ways that if we were to step out and somebody might have a certain attribute, they might look a certain way, or they may have a certain knowledge, or they might do something, and it's like, man, I wish Lynn did, or whatever, or Lynn don't do that.
Yeah.
But it's a maturity, and it's about understanding what it's just, a lot of it is.
Do you remember what I told you?
The
one thing I pray that if there's anything we need to remind ourselves every single day throughout the rest of our life is we choose each other. It's a choice. We wake up,
I believe that.
And we have to make a choice that, we can choose how our day is gonna go. To be honest with you, the littlest thing can irritate me or you about each other, but if we choose to feed off that, then this person becomes a much worse scenario than, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not my character, but I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Like, they could have something they're annoyed by, but then it all of a sudden spirals into this, she or he is this and that.
I think it's really too, a lot of it, I think a lot of what will eliminate that is really, it comes down to why you even with a person. Like, once you come together and form a certain thing, like, if it's based on a lot of something superficial, then somebody else can easily come in and take that spot. But if it's based on, okay, you know what, we understand who we are, we understand that if we do certain things, we're creating a certain world, so it becomes mission oriented.
Yeah.
It's like if we're becoming one, then for me to even be entertaining and looking out and seeing somebody else is better or worse in this area, I'm already corrupting the bond.